There are calls for a rethink of statues and monuments in Canberra that may hold negative connotations for some members of the community. It follows a growing movement around the world that's seen contentious statues vandalised and ripped down. One Ngunnawal elder is calling for a new statue to be erected. The global Black Lives Matter movement has seen statues being torn down around the world. There has been vandalism here in Australia as well. That debate has now come to Canberra. Elder Matilda House says the statue of King George in front of Old Parliament House is out of touch with modern standards. He ruled in the early part of last century, a time now considered filled with oppression for First Nations people.
It's a disgrace. And the one in Old Parliament House sitting in there when you walk in. You know, people have got to know and realise the pain and the struggle.
For custodian Paul House, the statues can't be separated from the unfinished business of land ownership and land rights.
You've got to remember, under the concrete and the steel, under this statue, Parliament House here, there's a rich, powerful First Nation history.
He says the statue, which has been vandalised in the past, should prompt a greater discussion and awareness of the whole story of Australia.
I think a statue like this could potentially be moved into the Museum of Democracy and used as an education tool for the younger generation to get a better understanding of how this country was formed under, oppressive policy.
The statue in front of Old Parliament House shouldn't be pulled down, says Elder Carolyn Hughes, although she says others around the country should be removed. She's calling for a new statue to honour Wiradjuri man Jimmy Clements, also known as King Billy, who was at the opening of Old Parliament House in 1927 and is recorded in history as the first Aboriginal protester at the Parliament.
The historical context of King Billy as well as King George is highly relevant for today's generations and future generations.
The debate about statues seems to be more than just what or who is atop the pedestal. It's about having a voice, being heard and truth-telling.